gonna be able to see us now. So guys, welcome to Make It Monday. I'm Deborah Harrison. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Each week I like to come to you with you just to craft and just share a really just cute, simple project so that we can just spend some creative time together. Today, I actually pulled out, for today's project, I pulled out my Stamparatus. I usually use this when I am doing my Christmas crafting so that I can make my Christmas cards just, in assembly style. And I thought, why am I not using it more often? And when I was looking at the Nothing's Better Than bundle, I thought, the sentiments in this set really would go very well with hinge stamping. So today I want to show you some hinge stamping and let's see, and we'll just have a really good time today. So let me flip my camera down and we'll get started. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay, so guys, if you're here, say hello. Let me know that you have joined us. If you share this video, comment to let me know that you shared so that you can be entered into this week's drawing to win, to have the card mailed to you if your name is selected. So, like I said, we're going to use the Nothing's Better Than bundle. I've been showcasing this all month because I do have some classes that I'm going to show you here in a minute. And I just thought it would just be really cute to use the Stamparatus to make this really fun card today. So let me show you before we get started. As you know, each week, I always like to have a project sheet for you to make it simple so you don't have to pay close attention or try to jot down the measurements. You can hop on over to my blog. That is will be in the post here shortly, or you can go to www.simplysweetinkdesigns.com. Scroll down, grab that project sheet, and you'll have all the measurements and the supplies that I used. The upcoming classes that I have using this Nothing's Better Than bundle is my home decor class. It's a really cute magnet frame that you can interchange the different sentiments and fun little treat elements to have a really fun home decor piece. I have my August Stamp Club coming up. And you can get information about that. The deadline for the home decor class is, I think, this Friday, July 31st, if my calculation is correct. And then the August Stamp Club is August 3rd. So hop on over, check that out. I am also, starting my paper and ribbon share for the holiday catalog. That is gonna launch August 4th. I can't believe it. If you don't already have your holiday catalog and you don't have a current demonstrator that you regularly order from, hop on over and request a catalog so you can get that in the mail and have fun shopping. All right, you ready for today's project? So as I said, we're gonna be using the Stamparatus today. If you are not familiar with the Stamparatus, it is a really cool stamping tool. And I don't know why I don't use it more often. It's awesome. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of the features of the Stamparatus real quickly. You can also hop on over to my blog. There's a really wonderful Stampin' Up! Video on it. The Stamparatus is a tool that allows you to be able to kind of get a do-over when you're stamping. And I'm going to show you an example of that. So what I did is I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper. Hopefully you can see that well. Let me move my lighting there. And when you want to stamp something, you're going to set your paper where you would like it, and then you're going to use the magnets. Now there is a storage area underneath that you can apply the magnets. Now I applied some duct tape to my magnets to make it easier to lift them off. And if they were to clink together, it does make it a little easier to be able to split them apart. Now the magnets are fragile. You do want to be careful that they don't slam together because they could potentially break. So when you are stamping, you're going to lay your stamp down where you want it on your project. Then you're going to take the acrylic flap and you're just going to pick up that stamp. And then you're going to take your ink pad and you're going to ink it up. Now, a pretty big stamp like this, you don't always get 100% coverage, right? So it's always a little nerve-wracking when you're stamping something this big. So let's say I were to stamp this and I thought I did an awesome job. I didn't get it, did I? I kind of only got half the image. So I can try pressing down again, because remember, it is in place by my magnets. So I kind of get a read. Oh, see, I still didn't get it. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to ink up the edges here. And it could be that I'm a little close to the edge here, because sometimes it's a little harder. You want to have it more centered. But let's see if this will do it. Hey, isn't that beautiful? So that is the beauty of the Stamparatus. You can get a lot of do-overs on your stamping project. So we're going to use the Stamparatus today to do some hinge stamping. That's kind of a technique, a little fun way you can get more versatility out of the Stamparatus. Now for this though, because the stamps that I'm using are the photopolymer clear stamps, I'm going to need to use this little foam pad to lift this up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my supplies and I'm going to place my 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to put that actually right there. And I have already placed where I want to start my sentiment to start stamping. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the real pretty Magenta Madness new in color, and I'm going to start stamping. Now guys, this is going to take a little bit of time because I'm going to be using 2 different colors, but see how I did that? And then what I did is I'm going to lift my plate and I'm going to move it down 1 notch. And then I'm going to stamp again. And this is called hinge stamping or step stamping. I think some people use that term as well. And again, my magnets are holding my cardstock in place, and I'm going to step it down again. And I'm going to keep doing this until I come to the end of the card. So just a couple more. And we probably have one more that I can get on here, but I'm going to need to move my magnet a little bit so that it's not in the way. Hi, if you're here, say hello. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to check comments here in just a second. When I'm switching ink colors. All right, there we go. All right, so now I want to do an in-between color. So I'm going to take my Blushing Bride, but before I do that, I want to make sure and I clean my stamp off before I switch colors. So I'm going to use my chamois real quick and clean off my stamp. And then we'll go with the other color. Now, what I want to do though is I don't want to put it in the exact same spot. So I have already determined that if I move this down to this line, should be about right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stamping again. There we go. That looks right. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Blushing Bride, which is a complementing color to the Magenta Madness, and I'm going to start stamping in between. And again, I'm just going to move it down. And we're going to keep stamping. Have any of you tried this technique before with your Stamparatus? All right, one more. Okay, awesome. Cool, so I'm going to set my Stamparatus aside. And I'm going to just grab the cardstock. I'm going to close my ink pads up really quick, otherwise I will have my fingers all in them. I've already gotten a little bit of ink on me today, but that's okay because we are crafting. All right, so I'm going to take my card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and what I did is I scored it in half at 5 1/2 inches so that I can get a tent fold. Now, one of the reasons I like to do this when I'm doing portrait is so that when you stand up a card, you can display it real nicely, and it stands up and it's got great stability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this that I just stamped to my card base. And we're gonna just put that right there on the front. Oh, Jane, you hadn't tried the pen stamping before? Yeah, you know, it's a fun technique. I don't know why that I don't pull out my Stamparatus more. I mean, I do swaps every month. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 polka dot print of the Magenta Madness, and I'm just gonna right here along the edge I'm gonna adhere this to a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of the silver foil. Because I want just a little bit of accent, color accent, or bling in my card. Now that foil is a little slippery, so it's going to take me a minute to get this nice and lined up. And then I'm going to adhere it to the left side of my card front. And I'm just going to line that right on top. There we go, nicely done. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna make all our little cocktail drinks. And what I'm gonna do for that is I'm gonna grab my Magenta Madness ink pad again, and my glass from the stamp set, and I'm gonna stamp. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all the elements, and there are actually 3 elements to this little glass, and I'm going to take my Blushing Bride again. However, I don't want to make it quite so dark, so I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm going to ink up my little cocktail with the ice cubes, and I'm going to do what's called stamping off, and I'm going to stamp on pieces of scrap paper, and then I'm going to stamp again on my project. And I'm going to do the same thing for the little lemon slice. And then the same thing for the little umbrella on the drink. Okay. So what I would do is I would cut this out on my die cutting machine, but to save time, I've already cut 3 out for us so that we can go on ahead and get those on there. So I'm going to take the 3 that I've already done, and I'm going to put 1 here at the top. I'm going to put 1 at the bottom, and then I want one of them to be lifted up just a little bit, and at an angle, just give it a little whimsy to it. Oops, I don't want to do that one with a dimensional. Ah. All right, so I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals here. And then we're just going to kind of put that at a cute little angle. Now I want to kind of tie in the bling that's in that silver foil, so I am going to add on a little simple rhinestone. And we're just going to put that right there where the base of that drink is. Now I could add more rhinestones if I wanted to, but I want to kind of keep it simple. And then we got to decorate the inside of our card. So what I did here is I added a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the Whisper White cardstock, but before I do that, I want to go ahead and stamp my sentiment and my image in there. So I'm going to grab, again, my Magenta Madness, and we're just going to stamp right here in the center of the card. And then I'm gonna, actually before I stamp my drink, is I want to be able to get an idea of where I want to place that. So I'm gonna add this 3/4 inch by 4 inch strip of that polka dot paper so that I can tie in the front with the inside, and we're just gonna put that towards the bottom here. And now I have an idea of where I need to stamp my drink. So I'm just going to put that right there. And then we're going to just do some 2-step stamping. Grab my little scrap paper here. And we're going to fill in those colors, give it a little different color inside. Almost forgot to stamp off. All right, one more. And then guys, our card is done. Okay, cool. Just put that inside. And today's project will be done. Right. So guys, like I said, if you have just hopped on, you can grab over on my blog, you can grab the measurements and the project sheet for today's project and make one of these on your own. And guys, don't forget, I do have those upcoming classes for the Nothing's Better Than, the home decor class and the card class. If you are interested, the links will be provided here in this post shortly. Guys, I hope that you have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your week. We will see you next Monday. Take care. Happy stamping, guys. Bye-bye.